Happy to see you here. I think we can start discussing about everyone's story first. Like this, we know who we are. Basically, I'm a Julian. I co-created this committee with few friends, and the idea is to create a safe place for builders and mostly dropouts builders. Everyone is welcome anyway here, and the idea is to co-create a project here to help each other, etc. I'm working in The Quest, which I have co-founded with 4 other partners, and we have created an entrepreneurship training center. And our job is basically to help between 5 to 10 founders, young founders every year, create their life projects, giving them like some money, giving them like support team.
Okay, so my name is Harry, co-founder at Wingmate, co-founded with a Quest. So I'm part of this training center Julian just talked about. Wingmate is a warm outreach application. So we try to take cold outreach, which is not very personalized, and make it warm by getting all sorts of data from your leads, applying AI, and have it do the talk for you. It's a great place. Many new faces, so happy to see you all here. Okay, so I'm gonna go with Mehdi, the star.
Okay, thanks, Harry, for choosing me. So I'm Mehdi. I'm one of the co-founders of TagU. It's a tool for teams to boost collaboration on the web. I also have been in this camp for a while, and it's a very good place for young people. I also founded a community of more youngest people that I lead with some friends, and I've been building and public my projects on many social media.
Hi guys, so my name is Pierre. I'm 23 years old. I have always been passionate by tech entrepreneurship, but so far I've been studying mechanical and industrial engineering. But I've decided at some point in my life that it wasn't what I wanted to do. So I moved to Germany and I started an entrepreneurship project, and I really loved it. I discovered all the innovation hub in Germany. There is a lot compared to France. And so I really loved it, and I decided that I didn't want to work a regular job in a company. So I would really like to create things and to learn new things, and also to meet people and to go to the Quest.
I come from tech background, so I'm full stack developer in TypeScript and mostly Next.js actually, a little bit of React Native. And I do an agency and AI. We did some copycat of Perplexity, but in Azure on-premise for SMBs in France.
Hi everyone, so I'm Edgar, and so I've done engineering school, and right after graduating, I decided to start a startup with a friend. We built the first startup, which was Click et Moi, which linked all people with students to help them with their digital device. I did that for a year and a half. Then I split with my co-founder to work on more technical projects. And so I've been working as a freelance full stack developer for like 6 months. And on the side, I'm experimenting with small projects to try to find the right project to work on as a startup. And the latest project I've done is Clonage, which is an app that translates video using AI.
Hello, my name is Nick. You'll have to excuse the lack of camera because I don't have one right now with me. So I'm 20 years old, and I've been studying community management and digital marketing. I've worked on social media, and I have helped grow different Discord servers mostly, like I've specialized on Discord, managing communities. But I've also worked in digital marketing for a company. Right now I'm not doing anything specific, however. I'm new here, I came today. I hope to learn a ton of things, hear your experiences, any tips you have would be great. So thank you in advance. Nice to meet you all.
Awesome, guys. I think it was like the most scholar thing I've been doing since a lot of time. But like it was cool to know more about everyone. If I understand right, Shadowverse. By the way, what is your name again, Shadowverse? Because I think it's a user.
Alex.
Alex.
I don't know.
Alex.
To change it on, on Discord.
Yeah, but so Alex, you're in a service business, right? Not product.
Yeah, I do some product and I have some free product, but mainly services.
Okay, Very interesting, because like today's topic is about like going from 0 to 1. A service business is definitely different than a business of a product, at some point. So I think it could be interesting to get your feedback on how you launch your agencies and how you launch your service, etc. Because this is something that I don't master from my side. I don't know if you guys master it, but don't hesitate if we say something in product that looks very like normal for us. If you think that as agency business it's like very not working, this kind of thing, don't hesitate to tell us.
Okay, no problem.
I see Upshot is here. I don't know, like if you want to introduce yourself, Upshot. How are you?
So, hello, I'm Upshot Kavish, basically. I'm 15 years old. I started marketing when I was turning about 12. I started in Web3 mainly, but since we all know what happened with the industry in late 2022, I moved on towards some clients in the Middle East, and now I have wrapped up my agency model to get into SaaS, basically.
Like, I think you're youngest here with Mehdi, and it made me think about one subject. I see a lot of people doing agency business and service business to bootstrap a bit their product ambition, because like service business is more easy to generate cash with it, etc., etc. With The Quest, we were initially a startup studio and we didn't got any fundraising, any fund. So for us, we didn't have the choice. We had to make our own money. So we started to create our own agency studio, and we created a bunch of agencies. I'm thinking like, I don't think it's the best way to bootstrap your product startup, because it can block you in service and in short-term like vision of getting cash with service agency, etc. And I don't know, you guys, like if you want to do like product business, etc. Do you think like the agency service is something that you can do on side and working on a product, or do you think you need your time to this and it's not possible to bootstrap with agency next to it?
In my opinion, I think so. Agencies are very well to begin with. It provides me a fair amount of experience and connections, but it itself can be very great. You can scale yourself to 100 or even 7 figures per month if you have the ability to. It's not something you can only do with SaaS, but of course with SMM or basically any agency, whether it's web development or anything. But yeah, I don't think so it should be started on this side. I think so the focus should be at one thing at once.
For my part, it depends. I have 7 years in tech industry. Agencies is a leverage. Mostly it's interesting to have the agency model to see some job use case and not generalist approaches, because I can speak with banks, I can speak with insurance, I can speak with a lot of actors to identify their needs. Usually when you start a product, and I come from product part, you look at what you have around you, discover industries, and then you can do the switch. If you still doing some mission and you try to build your product, that could be misleading.
I think it's pretty interesting what you said, and it's linked to one of the first subjects I wanted to discuss. Is like, I think if you want to go from 0 to 1, the first step you have to do is to discuss with a maximum of people, and maybe having like your shoes as a freelancer, as an agency owner, etc., force you to discuss with a lot of people and make you find some problems you can solve with products. But at the end, if you start making some service action during the same times that you start building your tool, this will be unfocused for you, So I think like the first step of an agency and any business is talking with clients, but with agency, you don't have choice at some point. Like if you're not talking to them, you don't conclude to them. And with agency, you have to be like deeply interested and deeply connected to them. You have to make some calls. It forces you to do it, So at some point, it's the way to get better feedback, even if you do a product, But if you do like agency to make cash during the moment you do SaaS, I think it's like Upshot said, it's not very something you have to do both in the same time. I think you have to do 100% on it or 100% on the others, And do you think agency can help like product grow and etc.? Because like I'm thinking about like the tool of Mehdi, which is like a tool to help team share feedback, etc. If I'm a freelance and I have an agency around like, I don't know, like design, product development, etc. If I show to my clients like this tool, this is what I'm using to communicate with with the people from my team, etc. Do you think they will use it after?
Explain me what you do, Mehdi.
Yes, so it's basically a tool that allows, it's a browser extension that allows teams to kind of turn the web into a single workspace, as if it was like a single place for teams to collaborate. So it's kind of speed up collaboration between teams. So it allows them to to share screenshots, data, sticky notes, or messages directly on the web without having to go on their messaging app, sharing the copy and the screenshots, leaving like a strong big message.
Okay, I see. I think it depends. If you have some C-level in transition or stuff like this, you can build some partnership and use them to deploy. Because when I'm a tech lead in a freelance or as an agency, the client always has a question about their processes, about how they works, and how the other people works. So if you are more in C-level or managing freelance or agency, you can take some partnership to sell products. If you are in a new industry, for example, for AI, there is always a question, mostly for companies that are more of 200 people, if they should buy a tool as a SaaS or if they should build it internally in terms of IP, in terms of cost, in terms of a lot of things. It depends about the tool. If you're not well connected with a lot of finance, maybe it's a bit hazardous.
And Edgar, I saw you were doing also like some freelancing side. Do you think like it was like it is going to be a leverage for you finding your business idea, building your project, etc.?
My thought on it right now, because I've done it for like more than 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
So at first I did it to just get more experience, work on cool project, maybe find some insight on some business, and also like to make enough money to be safe to live. But at some point, I think that I try now to do like right now I'm doing part-time building project, part-time freelance, and I can see that it doesn't work that well. I cannot leverage the thing. Mostly now, once you get a project on the side, you're doing the freelance just for the money because your motivation is you're more motivated toward your project. So I don't think you can like coexist that way. This is basically what we were saying earlier. And on the to help find ideas, I think because for me it's very special. I got only one client for like the past 6 months, so I don't get to see like a lot of different type of startups. So I did not get that much insight on this. I wanted to have your thought also, like everyone, like for you, like what's between having an agency and trying to discuss about a lot of different subjects with clients and just doing user interviews. Maybe like with doing user interview, you don't have to work for them afterward. You just can meet a lot of different people and get maybe more insights than by doing an agency. My question is like maybe for those who did like user interview before starting their product, like how did you went about this? Like what's the process and how do you get like good insights?
User interview, it's very large. If you're a freelancer in the market, you want to build a product and with the kind of industry, the sector, and the kind of service you want to productize, this is interesting. But if you're a freelancer, like doing like product stuff, and you want to launch a product that is like nothing to do with it, you don't have to do this. But you have to maybe put the same energy you put to talk with people who could be your freelancer employers, but to people who could be interested by this product, you know. So I think like it's the point of the things that it's sure that making some freelance stuff, having agency, it's something that will make you not 100% skin in the game, not 100% focus. So it's not something that will benefit for your product. But sometimes you have to do it for the cash. You have to do it to be able to bootstrap your company, etc. But the energy you put as freelance to get some new clients, to discuss with them, to understand the problem, you have to do the same with potential clients of your product. After this, like the way you find your potential client is well more different than the way you find freelance. So of course, me, what I do a lot of posts on socials, on LinkedIn, on Twitter, etc. Because I do B2B SaaS. So because I do B2B SaaS, it's very easy for me to do this. With Wingmay, the SaaS Harry is launching with the Quest. We basically did just like Twitter and LinkedIn posts around the concept, you know. But for another company that we are launching with the Quest, which is a consumer mobile app, completely different. The name is Cray Cray, and the app is basically an app to make you, your friends, you and your girlfriend, you and your family reconnect again. So it's a consumer app to connect people who feel lonely. With this mobile app, it's completely different. And our target are like young people from US who have 16 years old. So it's a very challenging things to discuss with this kind of people. It's way more challenging to discuss with the mass market, the mainstream markets, so young people from 16 in US, than talking to B2B business on Twitter, LinkedIn. And so for this kind of go-to-market and this kind of testing and interview, what we did is trying to find some tactics and strategy to get in touch with them. I can share you some of them. For example, we know that they are in Instagram. All the young people from 16 to 18, they are in Instagram, and they put the name of their school in their bio in Instagram. So we scrapped on Instagram every profiles who got the name of their bio, and we tried to send them message. But after a few messages, we got our accounts, our fake accounts, struck because Instagram, are very difficult with this. So we had to think about a new strategy, and what we have done, which is pretty funny. And we are not the only one and the first one to do this. It's one of my friends who created a famous app in US that told me this secret. We created an Instagram account, which was named like secret of and the name of school, you know. So it was secret of your school name, for example, you know. And we started to follow all people from the school, and the bio was like, we are going to reveal a secret. If you want to know the secret, follow, etc. And what was crazy, guys, is that like this fake account secret of and the name of school got like so much traction in few days, and we even received like some secrets from students. They share us like, okay, this guy, you have kissed this girl, this guy you have made like, and we received some crazy thing. I think like this, you know, the bad things, it's what make the traction the most with young people, you know. They were like so excited at the idea to share some secrets, etc. And so for us, it was a winner because as they follow the accounts, we can DM them without any limits. So I was pretty happy with this strategy, but we started sending them message and we got blocked after a few messages because a few of them started to report on message, which was cool, you know, but we didn't iterate enough on the message. So we had to redo another account with another university targeted, targeted. And we change a bit the way we interact with them, we target them. And right now we start collecting some feedbacks, you know. We had to iterate on the strategy, we had to iterate on the message, and we had to iterate on the flow, the funnels, you know. Before we started to say like directly, oh, can you use my app? After we started to say, oh, you can become an ambassador. And now we are selling something like, oh, as Snapchat started, we are selecting the premium early users of high school. Some of other students like this name recommended you. So, you know, it's very more deep and personalized at some point, you know. And thanks to this, we got like our first like beta user for this app. So I think every kind of business in every industry have different way of being in touch with people. And after being in touch, we have to really like try to see like how they react, what are the behaviors, what they think about the project, but also like what they do exactly. So tracking, putting analytics, etc. You know, Harry with Wingmay, it's completely different. Like it's just like you got attraction with people, so it's the top of the funnel. You make them join like a WhatsApp group, which will bring them to the waitlist. And after, like the one who want to test will sign up by themselves. So
yeah, it's kind of the same thing that we did with Tag You. So it's a different space from it's a different target audience from your app. But we started like posting a lot on Twitter. We started on Twitter and we didn't have any big audience, but still people really like this concept. it was kind of hard, honestly, to explain the app because there is pretty much no one that is doing the same. We are in a very close market. There is competition, and thanks that this competition is active. But it was very hard to explain this idea. But people really liked it, and they signed up for the wait list. After that, like we added them on a private group, and we started talking a lot with them. And before that, we also started talking a lot with like agencies and startups, also with the freelancers, to know if they really had this problem. And turns out they had it. So I think if you are an agency, for example, you have like a big advantage over your competitors because you talk to a lot of people, and maybe you can build like a tool around the service that you are proposing, and knowing that you already have like clients or people that are buying your service. I think it will be way easier for you like to get the first users, and you can always build this tool as a side project.
It depends also to the target of your tools, I think, because, for example, when you want to create some tools for corporate problems, sometimes in discovery you don't have the truth and the right economics units, so you don't know how much they spend on this kind of task, etc. And when you came as an agency and you solve some problems for the people, you can understand, okay, yeah, thank you for solving this problem, but we have also this problem, and they came to you with some issues you have to solve, and then you can build a product. But the other part, when you do just a discovery call or something I like to do, it's work for free or 1 day or 2 days for a company. You can just take the call, take the insight, and go back to work. It depends about also the conviction you have. If you have some conviction, you can come to people, just speak about the problem, and see if they are looking for a solution. And then you have a call and you can do a demo, you can ask a question, you can ask about how they solve it or how much they spend on the problem. If you don't have a lot of conviction, it's difficult to have people on the phone to say, yeah, I have some problems, I don't know how to solve it, but I have time, I can speak with you for 1 hour. On my part, it was very difficult, and I'm not good at marketing. And if you do some social posting and you are good in marketing, you have more feedback and more people to talk about your problems.
Yeah, I totally agree on this point. Yeah.
I think there's like also the notion of degree of need, because like I think if you're a good seller or if you have conviction, like you say, you can basically get people hype quite easily, but it doesn't mean like people will buy it, So me, I have a kind of a framework which is pretty interesting, which make me measure more like the level of commitment of the people. So for example, the first level of commitment will be like, does the people are interesting like just by chatting, After it will be like, does the people put their personal data like email, WhatsApp number, etc. After it will be like, does the people are ready to ask me again if I didn't reply to the message to get access to the tool, and if the people are going to really ask me hardly to get access. And the last part, which is the most important, is like, does the people can like pay directly to get access to the tool, and sometimes it can pay even if the product is not ready yet, etc. And I think like finding the good idea, the good business idea, is about like finding a business idea that first suits you and that is the good for you, but also that have a degree of needs that is very important and very high. Because if it's just like a nice to have but not a I want it desperately, it will not be like a banger.
Yeah, I agree on this point, and I take the example of Tagyu. Like we got a lot of demand to access this tool, especially when we released it in beta. For sure, we don't allow everyone to use it because it will be harder for us to manage the feedbacks and etc. but we try to filtrate the users. For example, we invite them to our group, or we ask them to like join a Trello board to report all their feedbacks, and this like allows this like kind of do a filtration of potential users. And when you have this like lot of demands to access your tool, it's always hard like to keep up with the feedbacks and etc. So if you see that there's no one asking you to like access your app or get like a demo video, I think you should revise your idea, or you are going straight to the wall. So yeah, this depends also on your idea and how it's important to solve this problem.
And sometimes it's not the idea, sometimes it's just the marketing around the idea or the way you express the problem that is not good enough. And you can just sometimes tweak the problem you are solving or the way you express the problem to see a difference in the market reaction.
Definitely. You have to iterate on the product, but first you have to iterate on the arguments and like the pitch at some point, you know, because sometimes people can feel like can feel connected and can feel happy with something that you express, but it was exactly the same product at the end. That's something you said before that they didn't feel attached, you know. And I think like this is also like true mostly in B2B, because if you do like a mobile app, like the consumer app we are creating, it's more about like who will be here. It's more about like, is it the famous things to use right now? So of course they like some mechanism of addiction, which like with features that need to make people stay and make people want to come back and make people want to install the app. But the need is not like deeper that a B2B business needs can have, because it's not linked to money, you know. At some point, B2B SaaS, most of the time they are linked to optimize the performance and so to make more money to the business at some point. But when it's like a B2C consumer app, it's more about like enjoy. And another point that I wanted to discuss is more like with you, Mehdi, because like you're in an interesting step with the tool you are building. You're in a step that you have opened the beta, you have the live beta, etc. You are starting collecting feedback. How you manage this step now that you have opened everything? How you collect feedback? How you prioritize like the opening of it? Are you not like busy with too much stuff? How it's working, you know?
The good thing about this beta launch is that it's fully async. Like the user can at any point go and report a bug or give a feedback, because we invite them in a private Trello board. But I also try to keep up with people. They messaging me on Twitter, Discord, or LinkedIn to like report a bug, leave a feedback. And yeah, it's pretty much like async, so the client can do everything by himself. If he is really interested in this tool, he will find a way to report a bug. But I always try to keep up with them. Generally, I receive these messages while I'm in school. So when I come back to it like quickly and I will have to go back, I try to answer the messages. And like when I come back from school, I just answer everything and try to organize all the feedback that I get. So we received a lot of valuable feedbacks. Most of them are already present on the Trello board. And my team is also doing a great job for that. They also have like their side, their user that they talk with.
So you recommend Trello, because with Ari we have a discussion regarding what is the best management tool between Trello and Jira. Ari, what is the name of the tool?
Jira.
Yeah, Trello and Jira, and we're looking into some other too, but these are the main two contestants, I guess.
Yeah, Jira is a bit old. Like I see a lot of haters on this tool. Trello is for me the best one. There's also Notion, but Notion is more for docs and everything related to like managing your team. But Trello stays the best for like this system of tickets, tasks.
Mm-hmm. Do you also get a view where you can see the roadmap in a timeline? So this is especially useful when you work with sprints. Does it have this feature or no?
I don't think so, but like the roadmap you can create it by adding like tickets directly on Trello. I
can
I
create
don't
your
think
column.
this is like an explicit feature that is on Trello for now.
You have also Kenny if you want really a product specialized in feedback management, which can help you to have public roadmaps, public feedbacks. As a CTO and also as ops, I was doing some Notion because when you start to have a lot of people, you can centralize and you have to do some choice on the tools you want to use on your company. And for my last experience, we were 30. But 30 people, you can't pay licenses for everybody. We do everything in Notion, and we connect Notion with GitHub, Notion for client and web accessibility.
Okay. And Pierre, do you know like what kind of startup you want to create extra? Because I think it can be a good exercise to discuss about like subjects that are not lunch and to discuss about like what could be like the good 0 to 1 strategy, you know?
So for me, so what I have saw in industry, it's like the problem is really like the modularity of what you wanna sell. I think what I found interesting is that it doesn't have to be the perfect product, because for example, people in old company in industry, they don't know anything about tech. They don't need something fancy. They don't need something really huge, because they can be sometimes working with software who have like 20 years old, 30 years old. And so just coming with a new solution, I'm thinking like about software, about productions, maintenance. And typically I had an idea. The idea I have developed, it's like there is the CSRD coming in Europe, so the Corporate Sustainability Response Directive. A lot of company above 40 million of amount they are making per year, they will have to make a report. 40 million, it's really small for a normal company, for an industry. And I was wondering how they are going to create it. And so the idea I had is to create something like not especially with AI, but something like an algorithm, which would be like a tree, like a decision tree. For example, okay, so do you have your water data? No. Okay, so you're going to install a water meter. Okay, once you got all your data, what you do with it? Okay, you put it on the same places. Now that you have all your energy stuff, you can put it on the report, etc. And to make a tool which is not a management tool, but like a tutorial tool.
How you can get in touch with this kind of company, and do you don't think like this kind of large company, because it's large company anyway, it's not difficult to reach them, it's not difficult to conclude with them, it's not like long cycle negotiation?
No, I think like you have to use like the traditional way of picking the phone and calling.
Okay.
Maybe you can try LinkedIn now, and typically there is one person who is responsible for this, and this person have a budget and is looking for solution and is looking for stuff. And what is also really interesting, it's like they can pay really high price. Because I have been in this kind of company, like if you sell a software but something really old,
No,
like
they are not
for
educated.
me,
They are not educated.
yeah, and for me, I have been seeing crazy stuff, or like people selling us software and my company buying it, but it was stuff like not finished at all, really like made like if it was like 20 years ago. They didn't care because nobody understand anything.
It's crazy. And why your next 7 days you're not going to try to reach like maybe 10, 15, or maybe 20 companies like the one you mentioned on LinkedIn, etc.? Why? What is the blocker to this right now? because like it's the first step basically from 0 to 1 is like to discuss with them and to see like if you can validate something. And I think even on phone you can pitch your solution and see like if they are interested, or if they will say, oh sorry, I don't work with I don't know, French company, I don't work with this kind of thing. Maybe you will learn something that will bug this, or maybe you will learn something that will put you a green flag and you can go on the next step. What block you on doing this?
Nothing, I have to start.
Okay, no, this is good, because like we are going to make like some weekly call, other weekly call, and I think this is the goal of this call, discuss about it, and next call maybe you can tell us like, okay, this is the kind of things I've done, I got this reply, I got this, and we can discuss about it. But I think you got the idea of what you have to do next. You just need a little kickstart, a little bit of motivation, and you can get like some feedback,
Exactly.
Okay, cool.
And I think also with this kind of product, that's the kind of product you can do a bit like freelance and software, because you are in a very specific area, you can do it as a freelance for companies. You can say, okay, I'm cheaper than the market as a freelance because we share the IP. So I can keep my IP and I can develop it for other clients. When you finish with the first client, you can say, okay, I have one reference on which this company, we did this. They are happy and they do some feedback regularly. And then you have also a deep understanding about the processes and the way they buy some product. Because when you are very in this kind of ecosystem and solution, you have a lot of learning also to how I can pass all the steps of validation of this kind of solution, or I can be in a tool that pass the buying, the purchasing, that pass the legal, that pass the compliance, and so on, because it's legal arrangement. The company have a lot of risk about this kind of solution, and they want reassurance, and then they want the same of the competitors. If one competitors take a tool, they want the same. So if there is an issue, they see with the regulator, or they all pay the same amount, so it's less risk for all the people in the company.
Definitely.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I think like based on like the first topic we were discussing, in your case, it can be interesting to do some freelance stuff or start working as service, because you will create good connection, and at some point is iTicket software, etc. And I think it can be good things to be onboarded to few companies. The only things that I see that can be like difficult is like based on the contract you have right now with the company Renault and the way you will handle it, maybe they don't want you to work with different companies, etc. So this is maybe like the challenge of this kind of strategy, But I think you definitely can like start by discussing with people on LinkedIn, maybe use like Wingme Beta to this, Harry will give you the access, and yeah, start to get some meetings, or even do like some cold calling, in your industry. I think like cold calling is something that's worked pretty much,
I send Vente and Chat, which is a company that does something really similar, but with security and SOC 2, IPA, GDPR, and stuff like this.
Some days, like some companies like this, they are very like niche and they are making so much money, bro. Like I'm sure like it's a cash machine for this kind of thing. Okay, guys, so I don't know like if you have any question, any topic you would like to address. Basically, like just like if I can give like an advice and a feedback regarding like what I would do if I have to go from 0 to 1 tomorrow. I think first is like identifying an industry where I have an edge, where I have a leverage, where I want to work for the next few years, I think like working on opportunist projects in industry you don't like, or just like for the cash, it's not very good investment, You will not have like compound effect. You will not be like 100% obsessed with it, and so it will be different and difficult to manage. So I think first choose the industry you want to go, you want to leverage, you want to be good at. Second, talk with players on this industry, Same for B2B, same for B2C, and try to find some tactics and strategy to get in touch with them, so there's like definitely strategies that are pretty easy and free. You don't have to make paid marketing. Like launching a startup and testing an idea is definitely can be free, and I recommend you to do it free. And after you start like discussing with people, try to evaluate like how much they are like, how much they value your idea, how much they want they have the needs. If they are willing to pay, it's very, very good. If they are willing to give you the WhatsApp, it's very important. And at some points, try to be like the more connected with people possible. The first 200 to 500 people and customers of every startup we created on the Quest, the founders got them on WhatsApp, because we have to be close to the first people who will buy the product and will co-create with us. So being close is very important also. And after, as you start like unveiling and showing the product that is live, like Mehdi does with Tagu, try to get the good valuable feedback and to make it improve. And I think after like you start like going on a good virtuous circle. The more difficult is to go from I have this industry to industry validated, ID validated, product validated, etc. After like when you have like the product with a good usage, no churn and good growth, like you have done the more difficult.
I wanted to ask you guys in tech, when you are giving a service, what is the level of the service you give after you have sold your product?
For product, I think you put a chat, you put a FAQ, etc. You at the beginning you're here, you have like the WhatsApp, you are very active, but after you try to limit it because it costs money, and at some point every problem can be handled by a ticket or by something that have documentation. But for service, this is very good question. So it's more maybe for Alex. Like I never been like on freelancing stuff, so I don't know.
It depends of the contract. I think it's more about how you're under the pressure and to have a canal on which they can reach to you if they have a problem. And then after that, you are a company, they are companies, they understand about client support, and you wait. For example, I lost my Google Workspace this weekend for 24 hours. It's all my life in my email, but I wait, just wait, and at some point someone answered to me. And when you are with the client, I think you have a closer relationship. They can understand, and you can find something that match the need of both of you. It's more easier than you think. I think just have a WhatsApp. I answer, I don't answer.
Yeah, I also think that, for example, people that are like adding live chats on their websites, especially for SaaS, as long as you have this icon of live chat, as long as your users will use it, even if it's like a small problem. And if you answer too late, I think it can be a bad experience. So the best thing to do is like to keep it keep the user always independent from you, because if you give them this opportunity of talking to you at any moment, they will exploit it, and at a point it can be a surcharge for you. And if you can't handle this, it will be a very bad user experience.
I completely agree. I think like it's better to not put any chat bubble if you're not here than putting one and not being here. It's like creating so much frustration.
Yeah, you can create like an in-app ticket creation. For example, you allow directly your user to create a ticket on your app. Or you can integrate AI chatbots. So for example, there's Simon Holberg that launched this SaaS recently. Customer support with AI live chat can be a good idea if you can train this model correctly on your SaaS data. It can be better than putting a live chat on your app and not answering at all.
Okay, guys, it was cool to chat with you tonight. From my side, I'm good. No subject to add. I hope you enjoyed this quick call. Next call will be in January, and we will organize some guest call. So the concept will be a bit more different. Like there will be like some external guests, some popular dropouts, tech entrepreneurs, etc. So it will be interesting because we got like also like some feedback and some stories like from people outside the community, being able to ask questions, to interact with them, etc. So yeah, it was cool to see you guys. Have a good night and ciao ciao.
Have a good night.
Ciao ciao.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.